to have free will gaming.
Ooh, who would buy?
Well, here's the question. What's the difference between doing anime and video games?
What? What are you supposed to do?
Hello?
Hang out or talk to her. Whichever you choose. What do you think?
To me, I mean, obviously, and there's a lot of, like, you ever play Tales of Vesperia or Persona? Okay, yeah.
Yay, Persona.
You were in Persona. You were in Tales too, right? Okay. So, I mean, you got. Actually, I just worked on a game too where it was all pretty much like doing an anime show because you've got the original Japanese and you're having to do lip sync and everything else, but this is just in a video game format. But like you take something like Call of Duty or Red Faction or Darksiders or Conan or whatever, they are working on the animation, but they don't have anything synced up yet, so you have a lot more freedom, and it's not as technically as hard because, as with anime, you've got the 3 beeps, and you've got to match the flaps and fit this thought into these, finite amount of flaps. And with video games and with original animation, you really have a lot more freedom. Doesn't mean that I like it better, it's just different. I think anime is probably the hardest thing that we do, hands down. But definitely with video games, man, especially like a game like Call of Duty or something like that, if you don't walk out of that session sweating, you didn't work.
Yeah.
So it's a little hard. What do you think?
Well, I agree completely. There are certain people that do video games in Los Angeles, and they don't even bother to call me because it's just like all screaming.
Yeah.
Literally, some of those video games, like even like Call of Duty, or some of those that are just, it's just pure full-on, get over there! That kind of stuff. And it's doing that for 3 hours, and you are just trashed. Your voice is trashed, and like you said, you're sweating. But there is a lot more flexibility when you don't have to match the mouth movements of the character. So voice actors usually love the opportunity to take a little more freedom with the performance. Anime, most anybody will tell you in the business, anime is probably the hardest thing to do.
Absolutely.
Because it's not enough to match the mouth movements, and it's not enough to give a believable performance. It has to be a blend of the two. So it's much more challenging than just average voice acting work.
The one thing that I do like though is with video games is it's really cool to see something. A lot of times they'll actually film you while you're recording. And so it's really cool. The first time I ever saw it was in it was either Blood Rain 2 or it was Eon Flux, where they had filmed something I did, and I remember I was just kind of like stroking my chin on this one line, and they actually made the character do that. I was like, so yeah, it was especially to see the character look like that do it too. So yeah.
They're making like a Tales of Vesperia movie, and if they translate that into English, will you be voicing Yuri?
If I get the opportunity to do Yuri again, abso-freaking-lutely. The only thing, they've already done it in Japanese from what I understand, and they're just trying to get the license for it here. I'm actually going to see some of the people with Namco Bandai in London. I'm going to ask them about it because I would flip out because that game was so much fun. And one of the reasons why is because, that's a big game, like lengthy. When I walked in, I was like, where's the script? And I'm like, there. I was like, no, that's the Encyclopedia Britannica. Where's the script? It's just binder upon binder. And we literally recorded once or twice a week, every week for 3 to 4 months. And it was so great because very rarely in a game do you get the chance, like with Ed, with Full Metal, you get a chance to really delve into the character and really ingratiate yourself to it. In very few video games you get a chance to do that. People are like, how long does it take to make a video game? I worked on Ghostbusters for 5 years. 5 years. I was the first one recorded and the last one recorded. That never happens. There have been video games where I've done 1, maybe 2 sessions, a couple hours, 4 hours at the most, and it's done. Call of Duty, we recorded a long time on. Darksiders, I did 3 sessions, I think. This game is going to be so freaking cool when it comes out. I can't wait. So it's if they do the movie, I'm totally down. I would in a heartbeat do whatever it took because it was just so much fun to do that.
Also, we record the video games so far in advance of them being released.
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes you don't even remember what you worked on. Like, you'll completely forget about something, and like a year later, it's finally released.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
What did I do about it? Yeah, you don't even remember sometimes because there's such a long time between when you record it. And then after you finish the voice work, there's all kinds of stuff that has to go into the production of the video game. So a lot of times it takes a long time. I did this one game called Ultimate Band. It's a Disney Sony joint release, and it's like Rock Band for little kids. And it was a lot of fun. I played the guitar player, and they did the thing where they shot you doing the whole thing, and used some of your own mannerisms. But I mean, it was like a year and a half or two before the game actually was released, because there was so much work to do after the voices were recorded. So, yes.